Oh, go ahead. I got you, Doug.
Oh, yeah. My name is Doug Blackshear. I work with Ms. Willis, helping making sure that whatever she needs, we get it done.
Hello there.
Morning. We got a room full here. We had a football game last night, so we're missing a few. So we're also gonna be sharing this with my friends Tammy Sharp at Shirley Simmons Middle School, Jatoria Kirksey at Old Town Middle School, Angela Reed at Old Town Middle School, and Vicki Parch at Germantown High School. So a lot of students are going to see what all you have to say today. So we really appreciate you joining us today.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for inviting me.
So we have it's like I spoke with you, this is a STEM class and we're all the way over here in Mississippi. And we thank you guys joining us from Oakland, California. And one thing that we have talked about is the importance of representation in the STEM field, the importance of women in engineering, and all the careers that are possible in engineering. So, and we know you're one of the leaders out there on the West Coast. So we'd love to hear more about it.
Oh, thank you. All right. Well, let me share my screen. I have a PowerPoint presentation.
Sure, go ahead.
I'll go ahead and share my screen. One second. All right, so we're Magnolia Engineering and Construction, and like you said, in Oakland, California. And I'll tell you a little bit about me. My name is Tammy Willis. I'm the president and CEO of Magnolia Engineering and Construction. I'm a certified fraud examiner with over 20 years of accounting, auditing, and contracts compliance experience. My experience includes federal and local government auditing. I was previously employed with the U.S. Department of Justice, the Office of the Inspector General, and the City of Oakland, Office of the City Auditor. In both roles, I managed many high-profile compliance and performance audits, including assessments of the FBI and the City of Oakland's Police Department, the OPD operations. I was the recipient of the Attorney General Achievement Award for Outstanding Audit Work and the Powerful Women of the Bay Diane C. Howe Entrepreneur Award.
Wow.
I'm currently a member of the board of directors of the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce and the Oakland African American Chamber PAC, which is a political PAC. In addition, I'm a licensed real estate broker and vice president of the board of directors of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers and Women's Council. Okay. Magnolia is an engineering and construction firm, and we hold a Class A general engineering contractor's license. And I recently got my engineering license. As I said before, my background is accounting, but I thought there was a need. When we talk about STEM, there's a limited amount of African American women, and actually both women and men. So I had a client who owned an engineering firm, and I did his accounting. So we talked a lot about how there's, a limited amount of African American women, and we thought it'd be a good idea to join forces. He's Asian Pacific. He had an engineering license for 30 years, and he knew a lot about engineering and construction, but not a lot about the, paperwork involved to get government contracts. So we thought it'd be a great idea for me to join forces with him so that we can form Magnolia Engineering and get ourselves out there as African Americans and Pacific Islanders to get, in on some of the government contracts. All right. So Magnolia is one of the few African American female owned and operated engineering and construction firms in the country. Our goal is to offer our clients exceptional engineering and construction services in addition to a comprehensive administrative and compliance component. The diversity and experience of our team affords us the ability to tailor our full range of services to each individual client's needs. Safety and risk management is a vital component of our principles. So some of the services we offer are concrete grading, contract compliance, auditing, cost control and reporting, construction documentation, construction management, document oversight, control, field oversight, program management services, traffic safety and control, site safety oversight, and stormwater pollution prevention plans.
Cool.
Let's get that one. So overall, why we need more women and minorities in STEM. Women and minorities are underrepresented in most fields. However, in the STEM field, this divide is most dramatic. According to the National Center of Education Statistics, African Americans make up 13% of the US population, but in 2020, they received less than 10% of STEM-related bachelor degrees, 5% of masters, and less than 5% of PhDs.
Wow.
The demand for STEM students is high because STEM jobs are projected to increase significantly more than any other field in the coming years.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Not even close. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, some STEM professions are expected to grow by 27% by 2022.
Wow.
Okay. And why this is important, women and minorities from a range of diverse backgrounds are needed in STEM. They're needed in these high decision-making roles to make a diverse approach in leadership, to enable progress in this world. So that's the big picture here. We need to have a seat at the table, minorities and women. We need to be there. I think the statistics were that the STEM or in engineering, it's made up of 70% white males in leadership. So, these are decision-making roles. We need to be diverse. We need to have all people at the table making decisions and having input. So that's why this is extremely important.
Absolutely.
Yes. So are there any questions about Magnolia or?
Yeah, we have a few that they prepared that I think are really good. And you talked a little bit about this, but this is from Trevion Blackman, and he's a ninth grader. And he asked, what engineering project that you were a part of has had the most impact on your community?
Let's see. We were a part of Highland Hospital, which is a hospital here it's a county hospital here in Oakland. And a lot of, it's in a predominantly minority area. So we were really happy to be on that job to increase, to enhance Highland Hospital, to make it look nice. As of course, like I said, it's a county hospital. So sometimes, the attention is not put on county hospitals because
We
of
know
the
about that
money.
in Mississippi now.
Yes. So we were able to work on that project and beautify Highland Hospital, and just really and beautify that neighborhood. So that was really important to us here. And I don't know, Doug, if you have anything to say about that one, because Doug was on that project too.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. How do you pronounce your name, Mr.
Pygott.
Pygott? Would it be okay, Greg or Pygott? Which would you
It
prefer?
don't matter. Everybody says
All right.
way.
Well, let's get more on a comfortable level here. So, Greg, I'm Doug. I'm Doug Blackshear. I work with Magnolia Engineering and Construction, as Tammy has said earlier. And yeah, Highland Hospital was a paramount for this operations to get started. And one of the things I want to let most of the African Americans, specifically boys and girls, understand, when you're out there on these projects, as Tammy Willis has her history of working with the Department of Justice, the accounting, math, numbers, that is so critical, because we have a lot of contractors, like we did Highland Hospital. We worked on some BART projects. If you are ever here in San Francisco, any of your students heard of Golden Gate Bridge? Okay, the Golden Gate Bridge, when you go out there, we participated and remodeled it and designed the gift shop. So Gap, not Gap, the Urban Outfitter in San Francisco, and some projects over in, at the Presidio. But I say all that to say this: Ms. Willis brings to the table an element that includes understanding how to get paid as a minority contractor.
That's awesome.
And one of the reasons why she brought me on here is because I am brutally blunt. As an African American woman, it is critical that Tammy is at the top of her game. You can get a lot of people can do carpentry, you can do plumbing, electrical, you can get them do operating engineers, road work, etc. But after you do that work, you want to get paid. You don't want to do that work for free. A lot of the bigger companies out here, and I will be once again straightforward, which are white. The big construction companies are white construction companies, and they can either put you out of business or increase your business. Now, what I found out from running a construction company before working with Ms. Willis is that a lot of Black men and women, African Americans, cannot do the paperwork. So they got all this materials and trucks and making a road safe and building hospitals and working with BART is Bay Area Transportation.
Yep.
Then it comes time to bill for your work. Ms. Willis has come into this industry in the Bay Area here in California and has streamlined, not only with her company, but other companies now, and big companies are using her services to make sure that once you do the work, you get paid for the work.
That's awesome.
Because doing the work is great, but getting paid for the work is awesome. She said. Awesome. So her background in working with the Department of Justice and developing audit techniques for FBI and other law enforcement agencies makes her a scary person when the big companies try to shortchange her. Once you put her invoice in, whether it be for her company or providing an administrative component, back office service for other companies, the general contractor, 9.999999999% of the time will pay Ms. Willis, Magnolia Engineering and Construction, and the other companies that she worked with, because they know if she was auditing the police, that little paperwork to get her paid is easy. Yeah. And it's so important that those young people out there understand that you have to know math. You have to be able to add and subtract. You have to be able to put up spreadsheets. You have to be able to go out in the field and be able to write up change orders, to be able to articulate exactly what it is that you are charging for. During the 5 years plus working at the hospital in Oakland, and that was one of the biggest contracts ever given out by the county of Alameda. There were 10, look at my hand here, 10 Black contractors when they started the project in 2010.
Wow.
In 2012, there was only one contractor left, Black contractor. And that is because the other contractors, for whatever reason, I can let you use your imagination, they got kicked off the project, dismissed, etc. But the one company that prevailed was a company that was able to do the paperwork. So those of you young people who are out there, Greg, and I'll call you Mr. P. Mr. P is giving you a perspective of life that you probably will not get in any other class, not only in Mississippi, but in this nation. Having Ms. Willis come out here and explain her background, because I know, and it's funny that when she explains her background, when we go to meetings, even the president and owners of these big corporations, they stand up and they go, "Oh, she worked for the Department of Justice. She audited police." They are less likely to shortchange her money and get audited by her than not to. And the reason for that is she has created a reputation of, I'm going to do the work and you are going to pay me, because the paperwork adds up to, this is the amount of money you owe me. So carpentry, operating engineers, laborers, and let's be clear to those young people out there, it's nothing wrong with being a laborer. There's nothing wrong with being an operating engineer. There's nothing wrong with being an electrician, a plumber, etc. If my dad always told me that a president can't be presidential if the janitor doesn't clean his office and make it look presidential. So those of you who maybe not, when you graduate from high school, you may not be prepared, whether it be mentally or financially, to enter into a 4-year or 2-year institution. Take a trade that will prepare you to take care of yourself. In California here, we have a lot of, I don't know how it is in Mississippi, but California, we have a lot of union trades.
Yep.
Do you have union trades down there?
Yeah, and we also, through our community colleges, we have the opportunity, if they have a 20 on the ACT, they can go learn a trade for free.
Wow.
And we also have in our school district, we have a great vocational education program. We have a STEM robotics program. And we also have a construction program and an automotive program. So all of those are STEM related that are coming out here, and they're trained for that in high school with certifications.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up to direct this to the students that, and you said they're 9th and 10th graders, or 8th?
I have all 9th and 10th graders here. We'll have some 7th and 8th graders that see this later as well.
Mr. P, what you're doing here is invaluable. And I'm going to, before I continue, ask you, can Ms. Willis put this on her website? Because more young people at the age that you are intervening with, 9th, 8th, and 7th grader, can develop what they're learning here and have options. They can either go to college or they can go to trade school, but they don't have to hang out and do nothing. And I applaud you and I commend you for what you're doing here and reaching out to Ms. Willis in regards to having her be the face of what an engineering and construction could, should, and does look like. It's a new era right now, and it includes all people sitting at the table. So and I want your students to say what I'm going to say to them. If you don't have a seat at the table, then that means you're on the menu.
That's true.
That's a great
If,
analogy.
if you do not have a seat at the table, then you are on the menu. And please shoot that out, because that sticks. Now, getting back to the work that Ms. Willis has done, and and let's just go with the labor part, then I'll transfer. And if it's okay with you, Ms. Willis, I can continue. Yeah. The trades part. Now, a lot of people say, hey, I don't want to be a laborer. I don't go out there sweeping and cleaning up and picking up trash and debris. Well, let me just tell some of your students this. One of the laborers, or not one of them, many laborers make over $100,000 a year picking up trash and debris and setting up storm sweeping programs. And Ms. Willis, can you go to the next slide so we can talk about some of the different trades? And I don't, as you can see, I can turn this into a whole day. So what I want, now, some of the services that, and this is just some of the service that Ms. Willis offered through her company. Concrete and grading. We've had laborers make $100,000+ a year picking up trash and debris, cleaning up, road work, etc. So don't think that there's no money in construction when it does, if it's not in the office. The second part of this is you have the administrative part, and that's how Ms. Willis and her partner, Nuku, the Asian Pacific Islander gentleman, got together. He's been in business for 30 years, but he hasn't been able to grow his business the way he wanted to in 30 years. Ms. Willis and his name is Nuku, they got together and started talking about, why aren't you able to grow your business? And we circle back around to what we initially started. He did not have the back office administrative structure to grow his business outside of residential and small project through projects in the city or in the community. But Ms. Willis has been able to come in and develop his back office infrastructure, which include the Davis-Bacon Act, union wages. And for you young people, now we're going to go back. We're going to transition back into the office, where you need to understand how to lay out Excel spreadsheets to pay your people. You got state taxes, you got local taxes, you got federal taxes, you got retired. If there's a union project, you got vacation pay, health and sickness pay, and you got retirement pay. And when you provide your paperwork into the general contractor, especially on government contracts, if you are 1 penny off, now I want you guys to digest this.
Yep.
You turn in a bill for $150,000, but the bill is $150,001. I have to be brutally honest, and that's why Ms. Willis allows me to come on. She has to put a leash on me. I don't think you ever see that picture with Jet Li where they say unleash. Well, she has to keep the leash on me. If you are 1 penny off, depending on that contractor and how the relationship you have with them, they could stop your payment of $150,000.
That doesn't match the contract.
Exactly. Small local businesses, specifically Black, African-American, Black and Brown, do not have a cash flow to sustain $150,000 delay for 30 more days. So what Ms. Willis brings to the table is, you can't delay our pay because I know exactly what you're doing, and I've done the compliance part. The compliance part is once you do the work, Ms. Willis and her administrative team working with the construction team gets the uh, payment team, and I will just call them payment team together. And once she goes through each and every number, gets that bill down to the penny, she confidently, her and her team confidently submits that paperwork to the general contractor. The general contractor, in 9.999999999% of the time, quickly goes over Ms. Willis' paperwork and submits it. And guess what? 9.99999% of the time, it's accurate. I can't think of one time, Ms. Willis, where you submitted for payment and didn't get paid.
That's true.
So it is so critical that you understand, you get that education, whether if you decide to open up your own business, if you want to you want to do government contracts, grow your business, cash is king. And I want you students to say that. Cash is king. And all due respect, in Ms. Willis' situation, cash is queen. All right, cash is queen. But your back office Excel spreadsheet, providing safety reports, providing change orders that accurately describe the change order work that you've done, having and developing a good rapport with the general contractor will also help you get paid on time every month. A general contractor wants to deal with smaller contractors who have not only the opportunity and the expertise to do the work, but has the expertise to get everybody paid, because it's a rippling effect. If the general contractor does not submit correct documentation to the government entity that he or she is providing service for, then nobody gets paid.
Yeah.
So I'm going to end on that note because I know there's only 4 minutes left. Ms. Willis, I hope I didn't talk too much.
No,
But
well, we have, I think we have more questions. Maybe?
Yeah,
yes.
I do have some more. This is from Camaria Smith, and she's a ninth grader, and she's asking, "What are you most proud of that you've accomplished in your career?"
I think for me, I'm proud of my work with the Department of Justice because although I know we're talking about STEM, we're talking about engineering and construction, but I think my work at the Department of Justice was really valuable. Again, I think with the Department of Justice, actually that was 80% or maybe 85%, white males. So when I went in to audit the FBI and the DEA, I was pretty much the only woman there. So I'm really proud to say, that, I was able to represent women, represent minorities, and really do work, meaningful work, and make changes within the Department of Justice. So I think that is what I'm most proud of
That's awesome. Now,
in my career.
when it comes to STEM specifically, one thing that I can speak for all the other teachers watching is that when we do these projects, these kids, they want to get it right the first time. So with with any type of engineering design, we have the design process, that we have in school. How important is it to realize that there is a lot of trial and error in STEM in any type of STEM related field?
Oh, that is important to know. And wait, one of the misconceptions I wanted to clear up. I read a lot about the teens thinking STEM is hard. Well, any field you go into is going to be, it's trial and error. It's going to be, difficulties along the way. but STEM is no harder than any other field you go into. So I know I see that a lot in writings and as I researched for today. That is the biggest misconception. I mean, there's going to be trial and error in every field you go into. So I don't want that to be something that discourages people. You know, you those are that's the job, in front of you. So STEM is no more difficult than any other, career path. You know, it's all about the work you put into it. And that's
Yeah,
with everything.
yeah, and even if somebody doesn't want to go into a STEM field, how important are these STEM skills that they're learning now in high school?
Oh, it's extremely important. Just like Doug said, for example, the math. I mean, that is important in every field. I mean, with what we do, it can math, the Excel spreadsheets, those things are important. And and like Doug mentioned, I mean, it goes, you may not get paid. So it's just as simple as that. Like you got to know these things. You have to be able to, you know, produce results. You have to be able to. You have to. Math is important. It's important in every field. So
And also, and just talking about engineering, and we just have one of our HBCUs here in Mississippi, Jackson State, has one of our newer engineering programs in the country. But when we're talking about engineering, it's not just engines. That's just the word for it. So it is a very, very diverse field, obviously, as you guys have. So even if somebody starts out in construction and engineering and they want to do something else, if they have that engineering background, what are some other things they can do?
like we're talking about, if you look at our list of, I don't know if the screen is still up.
I see. Yeah, I see it.
Like just for example, I mean, you have your engineering, but we also do traffic safety and control during projects. That's um, one of the areas that's important because as the project is going, you have to have somebody controlling the traffic, making sure that people are safe. So that's a whole industry in itself, traffic safety and control. We have a person who is the manager of our safety and control um, department. And let me see, I'm trying to think of another one, but that's, you don't have to, you may be an engineer, but that small segment is very important to any project. Um, I'm trying to think of another. Can you think of any other? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, let's put it something that they can identify.
Yeah.
When you guys have bridges out there,
Yeah, and
over
we just did a bridge building project here in class.
that's a good example. If you miscalculate the weight capacity
Yep.
in the design build of a bridge, you can kill many people. After understanding the low capacity of a bridge, the low capacity even of the concrete that's used to build that bridge, mathematics is critical to understand how to either save lives and make everyday things that we do. We don't look at it like that. We look at it, well, I just drive across the bridge. Well, the bridge capacity load is very important, and math is essential to understanding that. For example, when you build a building, engineering a structural building, understanding the civil and the structural apparatus that's used to build that building, how much the low capacity that the steel you use, how much concrete that you're putting in there. Just recently in Florida, the building fell and killed many people. I think it was two buildings or one building that
Yeah,
water was
that was in downtown Miami.
exactly.
Yep.
Somebody insurance company and companies gonna have to pay a lot of money because that could have been prevented.
Yep.
The numbers didn't add up, the money did add up, and you got people dead. So I say that to say this without being too specific. It is so important that you understand the STEM project is helping you at the foundation of your learning. So when you get to high school and college and out there in the real working world, that you mess up on one number, you may not get paid, but on the other side, you may put people's lives at risk. Thank you.
And we're almost out of time, and we thank you guys so much for getting up really early for us. But every person I have, whether I know them personally or I've never met them in you guys' case, and you guys are on the other side of the country, but just like every person in this room right now, you guys are Black in America, but you have become extremely successful, and you've changed the trend, you changed the narrative. So as young people that are seeing this, or we'll have a lot of minorities that see this later, what can they do right now to possibly follow in you guys' footsteps?
Well, what you can do right now is really hone in on your like study skills. Like everything is important. Your learning, your foundation is important. So what you're learning today is a stepping stone to what we do. So you have to have that foundation. So really paying attention to what is taught in class, and then doing your outside, research. We're old, so we didn't have the internet at our fingertips, and that is just phenomenal, just to have all the information you need at your fingertips. So do your outside research. Really think about what you want to do with your life, because whatever you want to do, it doesn't have to be, like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be something, you're not interested in. Really think about what you want to do. It should be a joy. What you do in your career should be fun. So, just really think about what you want to do. Do research outside of class, and really, like I said, the internet is right in front of you. Just do some research. Think about mentors too. Whatever field you want to go into, you want to find somebody who's doing it and who can mentor you and tell you, or talk to you about what to expect, and really, so you can really get in there and know what you are getting yourself into.
That's awesome. But we are running out of time here, Ben, and we thank you guys so much. I know it's 7:30 in the morning out there, but we're going to continue to follow you guys on social media, and we'll make sure all this information gets to all of our young people. And you guys are a huge inspiration. We thank you guys so much.
Oh, thank you so much, and we will be sending you all T-shirts like the one that Doug has on.
Hey, and we'll take pictures in them and we'll send them to you.
Yes, that's what we need. Okay, so I appreciate it, and anytime you want me to come back and talk about what we do, I'll be happy to do that. And it doesn't matter if it's early in the morning.
Yeah, the next time won't be so early, but I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys. I really
All
appreciate
right, thank you.
it. Very welcome. See ya.
All right, bye-bye.